Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the Tapestry community, and we refer to the daily Bible reading as our spiritual manna, nourishing our souls and fostering growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, marks day 24 of the Lenten journey. And the lectionary reading is from the Old Testament book of Leviticus, which can best be described as the Jewish liturgical calendar. God gave it to his people while they lived in the desert between Egypt and their yet to be occupied promised homeland. He gave instructions to Moses, and Moses in turn shared the instructions with all the people. And although the book of Leviticus served as a manual for the priests, remember, it was also meant for all the people. The book of Leviticus provided them with the instructions needed to be in a relationship with God first, because he had delivered them from being enslaved in Egypt. And it also contained the instructions on how they could live and be in a relationship with each other in community. In our March 30th, 2025 podcast, we learned about the Day of Atonement from the liturgical calendar in the book of Leviticus. Today's reading is Leviticus chapter 25, and God will provide Moses with further instructions regarding the rhythm of a Sabbath pause for the people and the portion of land the families will occupy when they leave the desert. Perhaps you've heard someone say that the Sabbath refers to Saturday, the seventh day of the week. However, in the Bible, the Sabbath signifies more than just a day. It represents a time to step away from life's hustle and bustle, allowing us to pause and take sacred moments to rest. It was God who introduced the first Sabbath pause. He created heaven and earth and humanity, yet something was missing: a Sabbath pause. It was intended to be more than just a time away from work or activity. God designed the Sabbath pause for humanity to have fellowship with Him and to enjoy rest and reflection and to cultivate inner peace and harmony. Humanity is created in God's image, and we have an inherent need to pause on the Sabbath. We are not robots running on the battery of the Energizer Bunny. The lectionary text begins by explaining how the people were to treat the portion of land assigned to their families. Each family was to plant and harvest grain crops and fruit from the trees for 6 years. In the seventh year, the land was to rest, and no one was to plant or harvest. Resting the land for 1 year would help restore the essential nutrients depleted by constant use. And so, without human assistance, whatever was produced in the Sabbath year would be available to everyone whether rich or poor, landowner or servant. The people asked Moses to ask God what they would eat in the 1 year when they did not plant or harvest their crops. God responded by telling them that He would send them abundant blessings in the 6th year and that the land would yield enough for the next 3 years. Thus, while they planted during the 8th year, they would have enough from the old crop to continue eating from it until the harvest of the 9th year came in. That was a lot that the people had to think about. If they were paying attention to the liturgical calendar that God designed for them, they would recognize the abundance in the 6th year and would not squander it. They would remember God's promise to bless them and to ensure there would be enough for all. Now, you and I may not live in an agrarian society, but it's not too difficult to put this lectionary text into perspective today. All of life belongs to God and is given to us as a gift from His gracious hand. And what He calls us to do is to take a Sabbath pause and remember His many blessings.